Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Mo,
And I'm Jo.
and you're listening to Mojo and the Outsiders podcast brought to you by Backwoods Adventure Mods.
Hey guys, and in this episode, we're basically just going to be talking about, our trip out to the Overland Adventure Show. Or is actually Overland Adventure, Power
Overland
Sports?
Adventure and Power Sports Expo.
Yeah, yeah. But basically talking about our trip out there, kind of our time, going out there, flying out there. We ended up dropping off our vehicle, picking it up, and then going and hanging out with the guys out at Donut Media. So that was super
That
cool.
was super cool.
Yeah, like the coolest experience, honestly.
Put a whooping on 4x4 Colorado.
Oh, dude. We'll go into that here in a second. Apparently they think they won, but there's no way. There's no way.
Right.
Really, I guess we'll start off we end up normally we'll drive back and forth. This trip we ended up, flying out there, which, was incredible.
Oh my gosh, what a time saver, right? To get to California in one day, half a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, got out there, feeling like pretty refreshed. Picked up the truck, and then, basically hightailed it over to
Yeah.
don't or no, was that what we did?
No, so what? We picked up the truck and then we ended up staying one night and then
That's right.
shot over to Donut Media on that Friday, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Zach, his things popping off, so it's cool to see him growing where he's going and stuff. And so him working with them, super cool. He walked us through there. We had met Justin before multiple times.
Yeah.
And their shop, their layout, just a vibe in there, just good energy.
Dude, I mean, it's just dialed. Like
Yeah.
their entire shop is just awesome. I mean, anywhere you look, there's something cool. Whether it's like a mural on the wall or some huge banner or awesome photos that they've taken of the crew. Just kind of all around the shop.
Yeah, car memorabilia, helmets, stuff like that laying around, RC cars, all sorts of car parts laying around.
Yeah.
Like this building from the outside, probably by design, it doesn't look like what it houses inside. But as soon as you get through the front door, it's like, they're into automotive entertainment. They've got tons of cameras laying around, tons of like I said, swag, race suits, helmets, car parts.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like, because I know like WD-40, I think, sponsored or is a sponsor of their show. And it's like you look in one quarter and there's just like the biggest display of WD-40 I've ever seen, like not at Walmart, So they had that, dude. Of course, it was like, they were giving us a tour, like showing us like the podcast studio. And then I don't know, I felt really funny because, they were like, all right, stick your head into this room. And I did. And next thing I know, I'm looking at,
Nolan's in there filming a video.
Yeah,
like live on set, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, I'm pretty sure I just interrupted them.
Yeah. But I mean, we were as quiet as we could be, and I'm sure they probably have that happen all the time, I would think. I don't know. But
yeah,
I mean, everybody there was super cool. Jimmy, the rest of the crew, it's like a great bunch, and then getting to walk the back half of their yard or their shop and stare at all these cars that, I've watched on YouTube, watched them get built up, and it's cool because you get to touch them, see them, and I mean, they're so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, if you're going to be watching on YouTube, I am going to be probably like putting some video clips throughout this video.
This is going to be nice.
Yeah, yeah. So that way you can kind of see like
we have faces. Yeah. We're not AI.
Yeah, yeah. So make sure to check in. But yeah, dude, that entire crew was just awesome. Man, their car display in the back with it was just so incredible.
And that's what I think. It's like 7 lifts out there, and I think they have a car below and a car above on everything.
Yeah.
As well as some cars to the side. But I mean, for me, it's like that $500 Ranger to see it, and then Zach started it up for us, which was super cool. I mean, it sounds so good, and it sounds like a ripper.
Yeah. It was also like definitely showed that Mo and I know nothing about, desert racing because
Nothing.
I look in the cab and the intake is literally sticking in the cab. And I guess apparently that's a normal thing.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
realize.
kept saying that's the cleanest air.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was crazy to see that whole setup. And then, of course, they have just like super clean,
Yeah.
S14s.
Did you
And
have a favorite rig there out of the bunch?
dude, I don't know. I was trying to like think of that while I was there. I was like, man, out of all these vehicles, like
Yeah, if I
which
had to pick
one?
one,
I don't
what
know,
is it?
dude. They're all incredible.
Yeah.
Probably that all will. Well, I mean, they're obviously all drive, but probably that Subaru, that rally spec one that they did, like that
Yeah.
kind of baby blue color. That one was, and really just out of functionality. Like that one would be sick.
Yeah.
That red 240, dude, that thing was a
Those
dream.
when they had a couple 240s there that were the same, like
Yeah,
they look great,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, hard to choose. Like I said, when you look at them, if you've watched any of their content, the stuff that's gone into them. So it's like a lot of times they may not look the part on the outside, but underneath, they are rippers.
yeah, yeah. What was like probably your favorite? Do you think?
Man, I mean, hard, right? Not to default to the Ranger. But if it's not there, that Civic with the yellow seat, the
Yeah,
high Civic was just like
yeah,
bad to the bone.
yeah,
Something about a little hatchback, I'm older from that era, so it's like they're
yeah.
very rad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course that Ranger, like you said, like
Yeah,
that
hard
thing's
not to default
incredible.
to it, right?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking back on it, honestly, probably like if I was going to say any of them were my favorite, is probably like the high Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a first gen Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a high and a low series,
Yeah.
So essentially, like they have like a two Tacomas, same, they're both first gens. One they put, the highest, nicest of products you could put on it. The second one they put like kind of the low end stuff.
Yeah, more budget
Yeah,
friendly.
both of them were sweet though. I'd take the high or the low Tacoma, but the
Right. There's
high.
really no wrong answers back there.
Yeah, but the high one was super nice. Had a nice set of like KMCs on it, just very basic. I mean, just like such a great, clean truck.
And I mean, it's crazy hearing about it. It's like they build them up, everything, and then y'all may or may not notice. It's like, but they keep a mechanic on full time. Talking with Zach, Justin, and them. It's like
Yeah,
they go out, drive the heck out of these cars. If something breaks, they just bring it back.
yeah,
Their mechanic gets it right, and lets them know when they can take it back out again.
yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, their whole setup is just like a dream, But
Super cool.
yeah,
Like I said, it's very cool, inspiring, with what they're doing and stuff and how they're growing. And like I said, to walk into that place, we kind of have the same feel, not near on the level, but we always want it to be when you walk in here, you're at a off-road, fabricator, somebody who makes bumpers and stuff. And so we tend to keep some stuff laying around. But like I said, it gives you a lot of like stuff where we can take it.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, really walking in there. I don't really know. I guess what I expected, but it checked like every box.
Well, see, I
It's just the
expected like
coolest.
nice, like almost like this corporate office, like big old donut branding on the outside and
Yeah,
like white tile when you walked inside, a bar top, stools. I mean, I had this whole drawing in my head of what
yeah,
what I thought it looked like, but
yeah.
it showed up and yeah, walked in, like I said, way off. But yeah, it didn't let me down, didn't disappoint, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it did. It was super cool. But yeah, so we end up going to Donut and then man,
Almost
like,
thought we were going to see the Hollywood sign there, but
yeah,
still struck out again.
yeah, dude, we've been trying to see this Hollywood sign forever. We've gone out to California, what now, four
Four,
times?
4 times?
Still have yet to see this freaking sign. Like, dude,
Yeah.
we have tried and tried and tried and cannot see it.
Not like just gone out of our way and tried, but it's like you would think that how I always thought it would be was
Yeah,
that like if you're in LA, you can look around and find the Hollywood sign, man. Almost like the North Star. Like it's always there,
yeah,
always easy to spot. But we have missed it every time we're out there.
yeah,
And sure enough, at the donut place, they're like, "Oh, you can probably see it from our rooftop." Nope, parking structure in the way.
yeah,
So still over. That's up to par for us.
yeah. But no, so we, not being able to see the sign, we were obviously bummed, but we were not going to let that ruin our
No,
day.
heck no, man. Like I said, that's
Yeah,
just the normal.
yeah. I'm trying to remember what we did after that.
Well, we went to Los Doricos and had probably the best burritos on the
Oh,
planet. Oh, I had the
dude.
best burrito I've ever had.
Well, and I had some fish tacos that were just off the chain. And the
Yeah.
best thing about it was this was like the cheapest, even cheaper than probably fast food
Yeah.
out there.
Oh, wait, like inexpensive. I don't want to call it cheap, but it was inexpensive. It was like
Yeah.
great food, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you folks out in California know it, but it's like the food y'all have out there is amazing,
Yeah.
a lot of variety.
Well, and like the atmosphere of this place definitely like was awesome. Like you walk in, it looks like just an old Cheryl's diner or
Yeah.
something, you know. You look up, it's got like the old like ceiling tiles with dust just hanging off of it. I don't want, a health inspector to get upset,
No, how could that
but
place passes?
dude, it was awesome. And like the food was seriously just like top notch. Like I don't know.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
when you walk into a place and the seating's full and there's people waiting, you're like, well, it can't be terrible.
Yeah.
There's this many people here. We're waiting. Let's try it out. And man, yeah, same. Heartbreak City though, we tried to go back and we realized that they only stay open till 2.
Yeah. Well, and like I think so. I got what 3 fish tacos, beans and rice. You got a massive burrito.
Yeah, barbacoa,
Yeah.
dynamite. You can't even find that on the menu here.
With tip, I think it was $34.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked. Like you go to California. And obviously, the people that live out in California, they definitely know this. But like in Arkansas, we do not pay these prices,
No.
And it's like it is normal to go spend for lunch, $50, $60, and then dinner is going to be 100,
Yeah.
unless you're going to eat fast food every single day.
Yeah. And
But
same, it's like we did good, we're really straying from our bread and butter of In-N-Outs and Jack in the Boxes,
Yeah.
so it's good to get out there, try some new places. But I mean, after that, fairly chill evening. I think we ended up getting set up at the
Yeah.
Pomona Expo Center, which if y'all have never been there, it is a massive place where they have these shows at. But then,
Yeah.
I mean, chill, and then Saturday morning, right? It's go time.
Yeah. Go time. Which I think, was it Friday night or Saturday night that we whooped 4x4 Colorado's
Oh,
butt?
it was Friday night. It was Friday
Dude,
night.
there's
They're bowlers, and they asked us if we wanted to go bowling.
Yeah.
While we were out there, and it's always great to get together, with our vendors, people we know in this space, and hang out. And so we thought that would be a cool way to check stuff out.
Yeah.
And the first thing I tell them when I hear they want to go bowling is, we're about to F you up.
Yeah.
Shortly thereafter,
Yeah.
they text Jo that they have their own shoes, their own bowling balls,
Yeah.
their own carry case. I mean, they play in league play.
Yeah. So like I'm expecting for us to go in there and
Just get whooped.
Yeah. And dude, I'll tell you, like, seriously, I know, especially Greg, he's one of 4x4 Colorado's guys. He straight up was telling me, he's like, you're a hustler. Like, there's no way you don't bowl all the time. Because I went in there and I think like the first game I bowled, which some people are probably gonna laugh about this, but I'm pretty proud of it. I bowled like a 169 first game. Hadn't bowled in like months.
No.
And dude, I'm telling you, I'm feeling good. Rest of the games were not really that awesome. It was probably, a little bit of a beginner's luck, but yeah, I mean, we went in there. I think total we played what, 3 games?
3 games.
3 games. We did.
Jo won the first game. Blaine from 4x4 Colorado won the second game, and I won the third game.
Yeah.
But somehow they're spreading rumors like they won.
Yeah, like they won, And I think overall, like by points, I got second, you got third.
Yeah.
Blaine we'll just say he got first, but hey, that's all right. And then Richie, I think he got fourth.
Richie was having fun.
Yeah. And then Ethan, I think, got fifth.
Man, Ethan could be a heck of a bowler. That kid's as strong as 10 dudes.
Dude, strong as an ox, Tries throwing that ball as hard as you possibly can.
Hard as you can.
Hey, I respect it, know?
If he could throw that ball 100 miles an hour, he'd throw it 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. But if you're going by like Mario Party points, I feel like we definitely won for sure. For sure.
I mean, it was good. Either way, it was still fun to get out, go to a bolero, good way to take in a different part of California and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like I said, go in there and for a couple hours, pass some time, and like I said, visit, talk with everybody, You know, it's always good, man, to hang out with everybody, you know, not standing at a show, not standing in your booth. So
Yeah.
we try and have great relationships with just about anybody we come across.
Yeah. Well, and it's just awesome too being able to do something like that with a company because you're not going to just sit there and talk about work the whole time. You know,
No,
you can
heck
actually get
no.
to know,
Hmm.
each other as like people, which is just awesome. Like
Yeah,
that
what they're
is,
into, their
yeah.
interests, what they do outside of work, you know, stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, because it's like with customers, honestly, for me, like I mean, yeah, like we do business with each other, but it's like I want to be friends, like I want to be friendly and have fun and get to know each other like personally. So it's like I just
oh
love
man.
doing that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it makes total sense, right? It's like, man, if you're going to do business with somebody, you may as well kind of know what they're about or what they're
Yeah,
into.
yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, I mean, I think they're gonna come back down for the More Expo, and
Yeah,
this show should be coming out the week of the More Expo.
yeah.
So, um, Blaine, Richie, boys, pack your bags. We're gonna put another whipping on you.
I'm looking directly into the camera at you guys. We're coming after you,
Right.
but
I mean, that
no,
was fun. And then yeah, show day. Right after that, I mean, because we were pretty chill after that. You know, they
yeah.
drove home, we Ubered back, and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, show day after that, which was good. Show was
it
good.
was cool. Like I said, different venue, different space. We'd never been to this show, you know, so it's always hard for us to judge what we're going to get out of everything like that. But I mean, we had great talks. You know, if anybody's listening and came by the booth, seriously, we can't thank y'all enough. You know, we genuinely enjoy getting to talk about not only our products but like being off road. You know, we talked to a handful of people that were new into this, and so it's cool to kind of see where they're trying to go, what they're trying to get out of their rig and stuff like that. We're all different. You know, my needs aren't going to be their needs. So
Yeah.
just listening to people and what they're trying to do. So, yeah, if y'all were around this weekend, man, seriously, thanks again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and man, we had a lot of awesome feedback about the truck too. Like we
The
had,
Tundra stuff is just killing. You know, the
yeah.
bed rack and the side boxes are going so hard. It seems like they really are well received when people see them.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. We had multiple, people that came up to us. And keep in mind, like, we saw some incredible tundras out there,
Yeah,
but people came up to us and were like, hey, if you're into tundras, like, this is the baddest one here,
yeah,
which, whether they're right or wrong, like, I
we
definitely
sure
love
dig it.
ours. Yeah.
You
Like, I
know.
love ours. And dude, it sure as heck makes us like happy and proud, like, when people tell us that, so it's awesome.
Well, lets us know we're doing it right. You know, it's like we're same as everybody. You know, we build it how it's gonna fit us, how it's gonna suit
Yeah.
us. You know, and then to meet so many people that would build a truck the exact same way. You know, you're like, well, we're not the only ones who need it to work and play.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense that we build our vehicle like the way we'd want it to look versus the way like we think people want it to look, So
Yeah. Well, you want it to be
yeah,
functional. You
yeah,
know. Um,
and it fits our style,
mhm.
So it's just yeah, it's cool.
Hey, why
Um,
don't you take a short break real quick and sprinkle in a discount code? I just got a phone call and I think my camera stopped recording. Or can you see me still?
you're recording.
Never mind then.
Yeah,
Carry on.
carry on.
Sorry,
We'll
distracted.
we'll still probably use that point to use as a discount code.
Maybe we'll use it later. Stick
Yeah,
around.
yeah. But anyway, but yeah, no, show was super good. Met some really awesome people.
Yeah, Adam Step 22 gear. This
Dude,
was our first time to meet him at a show. I don't know if he does many shows around us or we've just never crossed paths. But he had the whole catalog on display out there. And it was awesome, you know, the way
yeah,
they're doing things, how they make their bags pack flat, and how they, like I said, can hold just about anything you're looking for. We ended up picking up one for the Tundra side box, and I mean, it was almost like they were made for each other.
yeah, yeah, fit in there just right. I'd seen Step 22 stuff for a long time,
Hmm.
and man, it was like always one of those deals where I'd see them online and like they looked awesome. It looked like
Yeah,
it was really high quality, but you can't ever really know until you like physically touch
yeah.
it.
Put hands on it, start messing with the
Yeah.
zippers, seeing how the organization works.
And I'll tell you, man, the quality on those bags are second to none. I
I,
mean, just so nice, man. So nice.
yeah,
I mean, and also I didn't realize that they like I don't think all of them, pack flat, but a lot of his box and bags pack flat, which I didn't realize that, which, a lot of people probably don't like completely notice like how important that really is. But when you're not using these things, like you
Yeah.
don't want it taking up space,
Hmm.
that kind of defeats the purpose of
Well, and he
storage.
even admitted, he said, he's like, they do pack flat. And, he's like, but most people, once they build it, it's like they'll start putting stuff in it and they'll never want to tear it down or break it down because it just serves so well as storage for, I mean, we threw tons of straps in there, the necks for our jack, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Some of the stuff for our Pro Eagle style, the Badlands jack.
Still had tons of room too. I think, once we got done with that, and it just made everything so much more
That's the thing,
organized.
right? Like all of a sudden stuff started disappearing and this bag just kept eating stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, me and Jo, I was telling Grant this yesterday. I was like, I said, Grant, you may not notice this because your stuff's so dialed. I
Yeah.
said, but when dudes look at stuff that's like so dialed, it's like, man, it's like, it just something I drool over, It's
Yeah.
like, man, I try hard to live that life and for whatever reason, it just keeps escaping me.
Yeah, dude. It's like, a lot of times when I go to organize, like I don't even know where to start,
I feel like I'm
but
just moving stuff.
yeah, but it makes sense. Like when you have those awesome storage solutions,
Yeah.
like it makes a massive difference. It's pretty hard to organize without something to organize it with,
Yeah. Well,
So
and they all came with these leather tags. You could have stuff burn in so that you knew what was in this bag, whether it's
yeah,
recovery gear, toiletries, whatever, pots and pans.
yeah. No, they were top
Yeah.
notch. And then
I mean, Adam's same. Adam was a
yeah,
great dude.
yeah, he was.
Cool to talk with him, hear about him getting his start, how they're doing and stuff like that. And they're same. They keep continuing to grow, innovate, and yeah, check out their bags. Like I said, they kind of think about everything whenever they release something.
Yeah, they really do. And then I'm trying to think of other things that I don't know. It's like the show, man. There's so many people. Like
Man, there
it
was a
just,
lot. I mean,
yeah.
the curveball, not in the name, but RC Power Sports
Oh
Show was
man,
going there. So
yeah,
we're new to the RC world, and all of a sudden, like so new that we don't know anything, and all of a
yeah,
sudden we just see so many of these things driving around, and a lot of times we'll get to the shows early in the morning, about an hour before the show starts, and we'll kind of walk the show and kind of see who's all there, and if there's somebody we want to come visit. But we walked into this one building, and I mean, OMG, right?
yeah,
A freaking RC heaven.
dude. And I'm telling you, like Mo and I, we shouldn't have walked in there. Like I
No,
need a
terrible.
dude. I need another hobby. Like I need a hole in my head,
Yeah.
And it's just like I go in there. And all the race ones, stuff like that, like that's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen those like kind of my whole life, like they're cool. But seeing like the off-road ones, like the crawlers, and they don't even look like the toy crawler ones. They're like actual, to
Yeah.
scale vehicles.
I mean, people were showing us their RCs and then they'd show us their full size rig, that they
Yeah.
had, modeled their RC car after.
Yeah, and it's funny, like to the point where they're getting little like miniature versions of their dogs and putting them like in the seat beside them, like in the vehicle. I mean, don't get me wrong. My wife, everyone else would probably judge the heck out of me for, getting into this. But this is definitely a hobby that I could probably get wrapped up in, unfortunately.
Well, they
So,
said, Adam, we were talking with Adam about it, about all these RC cars. He goes, I'll tell you right now, it's death by $20 bills.
dude, I imagine. Well, it's like one of those deals where, okay, I like working on vehicles. I
Yeah.
like making things, like I'm always doing leather or whatever. It's like I like all these deals, and this is literally a hobby where it just combines them all. Like I'm
Mhm.
screwed. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have seen this. I shouldn't have, even interacted with it. Like,
Oh, it was
yeah,
different. Like I said, different for us because I mean, we don't know really anything. Like we have a Tacoma that's modeled after our shop taco that we had a few years ago, or I guess 2 years ago, and it's super cool. But it's like I've never really turned it on. I've never driven it or anything like
yeah,
that. And then getting out there and seeing how much more carried away you can get with them, it's just bonkers.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely something that I want to get into with my son for sure.
Oh,
But
he'd love it. Oliver would go nuts over it.
yeah, he would. He would.
I mean, it was good. Like that was kind of a curveball. don't know if you caught our story. They set us up by a milkshake stand.
Yeah.
They knew I was coming. They knew what they were doing. That thing just sucked me in, man. Tractor beam style, man. I was screwed.
Dude, they're freaking trying to test our ice cream anonymous. They knew we would fail. I'm
Dude,
surprised we didn't eat more milkshakes than we did,
no, I
though,
thought we
there.
did good, man. One a day. I felt like that's a good quota for milkshakes,
Yeah.
at the show. So, I mean, it was solid, and if y'all are ever in that area, I mean, it's worth stopping in, checking out. Lots of cool vendors there. Got to see some of our van folks. Rogue Vans being there, 27 North being there. Um, so that was cool too. Kind of let them know the change up with Rome built and everything like that.
Yeah.
They're all aware of it, but. I mean, it's fun to touch base with those folks that we kind of don't see anymore, So, I mean, getting to see Eric, Yari, and the gang. I mean, it was fun over there at the Rogue booth, and then
Yeah.
same over there with 27 North and Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there anything at the show that you saw that like surprised you or anything, or not necessarily surprised, but anything that was just like super cool or anything that was
Mm.
new that you didn't know was out there?
I mean, I guess this isn't new, and this is probably like the smallest thing, and this one really relates to me, but that mat that wrapped around the ladder so that your dogs could run up into the
Yeah.
tent themselves, it wasn't like the one that iCamper sells where it's like stairs.
Yeah.
This one was kind of like a whole mat that you just wrapped around and you kind of lifted your ladder up and out a little bit and let the dogs run in. I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
Like I said, that kind of checks my box is something I could see myself using or needing to get pups in and out of tents. But like I said, as I think about it, it's like really some of the coolest stuff because we see all the other stuff so much was
Yeah.
those damn RC cars.
Yeah. No.
Like to see kids getting pulled in a wagon by a tent scale RC car, you're just like, what?
Oh, I know, man. I know. No, and I feel the same way. Like that was probably like one of the things for me, going back to the RC cars that was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. But something else that, and I've seen the full wheel campers, anyone
Oh
that
yeah.
knows me knows that I love those campers. Like as
Hmm.
soon as I can get into a truck, and get one of those, like I'm in. But seeing all the build outs of them, at that show.
Well, yeah, and there's so many different ones now. It's in the four wheel campers has so many
Yeah.
people in that space. I forget what the one Moon Pods and
Yeah.
Tune and some of those other ones we checked out where it's like everybody's kind of trying to push to be in that space. So which is good, like how people push us. It's like
Yeah.
the more people in that space, it's like that's how stuff gets better. It's like
Yeah.
people are content selling you the same old stuff if you're gonna keep buying it.
Yeah.
But if new companies don't show up and continue innovating, it's going to just get boring and stuff. So, like I said, it's good to see that you're starting to see new designs, new layouts, stuff like that in some of those bed toppers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I really just like looking at all the different layouts. A lot of
Hmm.
people have done a ton of innovation with them. Even in the last few years. For me personally, like I really like the more basic ones, basic, build outs. I love the more in depth ones. I just know for me,
Yeah.
functionally, they wouldn't be, the thing I'd want. But man, it's just like every single time I get around those, I just get this itch, where I just
Oh, well, they
find,
just check so many boxes.
yeah,
Being able to stand up and get ready, we're rooftop tent folks, so it's like we don't get to stand up and get ready. I mean, we were
yeah,
talking with Dave from Al and this other guy and his Tundra dude, and they were talking about just silly things like the conveniences of being able to poop inside.
yeah,
And you're like, oh my gosh, how nice is that? And
yeah,
dude, this one guy, he had it down to an art, man. He's like, dude, I got a vanilla candle right here. He's like, dude, I'll light this thing up. Oh, my fan, zero cares, and
yep.
I'm just like, man, if I could relate, it's like by this time we gotta go out in the bush, man, find
Hold
your
a
flat
tree.
spot, yeah, dig a hole, cat hole style, So it's like those things are the small
Yeah.
things where you're like, man, you don't just get a bigger living space, you get all the other stuff that comes with.
I know, man. I know. Yeah, I every single time I get around one, dude, I always find myself like searching it on Facebook Marketplace, like finding Tacomas, finding Tundras.
Yeah.
I just I need to stay away from those. It just I feel like that'd get expensive quick.
Oh,
But
we'll see a bunch in probably 10 days.
I know, I know.
They'll all be out there. Global X will be up there. More expos about to happen.
Yeah,
So it's like all they always show up. All those Earth Roamer style type rigs
Yeah.
will be up there.
Yeah.
So we'll get a good look at some of the big ones. Hopefully it's a fantastic show. Hopefully Chris
Oh, yeah.
puts one together, and we always enjoy our time in Springfield. If y'all are in the area,
Yeah.
like I said, come through the booth. We should have a little bit of swag to give out. It's getting pretty limited. I know, right? Like we just started, but
Yeah.
man, we have been running and gunning, and like I said, meeting you folks on the road. So it's like, man, if you're rocking some of our gear and stuff, hit us up if you're gonna ever be at one of these shows, man. We are seriously happy to bring swag out to you.
Yeah, yeah. Come out. Yeah. So we'll be at More Expo next, and then we'll be going to Jambo, and then we'll be going back to Vallejo. And then we have some more shows after that. But yeah.
Bentonville Bike Fest. I mean, we've got a few things on the calendar.
Yeah, yeah, pretty packed out. But yeah, checking keep checking us out, keep up with us. You can do that with like backwoodsadventuremods.com. Instagram is Backwoods Adventure Mods. YouTube is also Backwoods Adventure Mods. We now have TikTok, which is also Backwoods Adventure Mods. So.
TikTokers, man, we are on everything. Well, not Threads. I think we keep it limited.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do the Threads still, but
same. We're learning TikTok. I mean,
yeah,
still learning Instagram. Like, man, these social media things, but it's fun. Like I said, we've got a bunch of cool new stuff going on up here, building out for the 4th Gen. So we've got new products showing up. They're about to put the 4th Gen prototype on today. Hopefully, by the time we get done recording this, maybe it's on there. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're at least cutting plastic. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for listening, and
sprinkle that code in.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
We'll Milkshake 15.
Milkshake 15. So it's going to be all caps MILKSHAKE 15 Milkshake, all caps Milkshake 15. It's what it is. So yeah, you get it. But if you guys need anything, give us a shout at any time, and
look forward to it. Seriously, call us, man. We sit up here waiting on y'all's calls every day.
Yep. Guys, thank you for listening. Peace.
See y'all.